everyone, I'm Rebecca and welcome back to my channel. I'm back today with another round of Rebecca's Obsessed with eBay. I have another unboxing for you, or I guess unpackaging for you. To be honest, I'm already feeling a little bit like a bad mom because this came a few days ago, but I wanted to film this unboxing style for you and I just haven't had any time to do an unboxing. So today is the day we're gonna crack this open. I am quite excited. I kind of did like a lowball bid for this that I wasn't expecting to win. I think I got this for about $20 and it should be a 1910's dress. So we shall see. I hope it's good. I hope it's in good condition. I hope it's pretty and I hope that it's interesting. I just sometimes when I see like a best offer type thing, I just throw a best offer at them and sometimes they accept them and sometimes they automatically don't, like the one that I'm trying to win right now. But I won this one. So let's take a quick look and see what's inside. Moment of truth. Ooh! Oh my gosh, this is pretty. Oh, I'm excited. Okay. Okay, definitely smells a little old, but you know, it is, so. Just gonna transfer this over. Oh wow, the silk feels so fine. Oh, just says thank you. All right. It's definitely delicate. Like, I am being very careful. I know that in the listing it said that there were tears in the underarm too, so I'm just like, and I can see that already. I'm very conscious of that. Let's just get her unraveled. She's got a little bit of a dirty hem, but you know, I always do too. It's so light and thin. Like I was worried about it being packed in that tiny little container, and it is because it just compacts so much. So I want to start with her front up. I think this is the front. Did I get the front? I'm not sure. Well, I'm starting with one side up. I don't know if it's the front. It's the side that doesn't have closures on it. The armpits are fully, like, they're starting to fully disintegrate, so definitely have to be careful with that. It's like a China silk. It is so lightweight. But it's got this lovely pattern on it, kind of a, almost like a leaf, a semi-leaf, semi-floral pattern woven into it. It's too long for my table. I just want to say right now, I know that my nails look horribly filthy. They're not. I ate blackberries for breakfast this morning, and so they are stained purple now. So I promise I'm not touching this with dirty hands. I did everything that I could to clean my nails. They're stained. And layer out. Oh my gosh. Ah! Oh, it's so light and delicate. I don't even know, like, I don't think I have anything this like, ethereal is the wrong word, but it's like the closest thing that I can think. I don't have anything like this in my collection that's so, wow. Okay, this is really exciting. These sleeves are like pleated. Look at that. Pleated into place somehow. I'm gonna have to see how those pleats are held in place. It must be something in the interior. And same with out over here. I think maybe they're tacked, but I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to find out. This is what I was talking about, the armpits being quite shattered. Those are really just starting to go. Oh my God, this lace. You know, the lace is so funny because it's actually what I would think of as kind of a modern, almost heavier lace. But, I mean, it's the original lace. It's all over this. I love this bow and its little tassels. Oh my God. Look at those cute little tassels. Oh, they're so cute. They're like braided, and then they've got a little poof on the end. So freaking cute, and I love the bow. Double bow, because, you know, you need a double bow. And there's lovely tucks here in the waistband. Everything looks so yellow in this light. I mean, okay, so this is an ivory dress, but everything is looking real yellow. So it's just got all these lovely like pleats and everything on the exterior. This waistband sash sort of thing is actually sewn down by hand with just a running stitch, both top and bottom. This fabric is just so light. I want to take a quick look at the hem. So the hem is just a wide hem and just of the fabric folded over. And then this is interestingly enough done by hand as well. Which, oh, that's really interesting. So the seam in the skirt, I think I might be looking in the back. I'm not sure. But the seam in this skirt is kind of what I was trying to do on my teen's dress, and then it totally didn't work. But like to do a sort of a fake flap. And so it's a fake little flap here, and then it's done by hand, except that their hand stitches show, and I was trying to make mine not show, which did not work, and I wound up actually fixing it by machine after wasting a whole bunch of time on it. So that's making me think that when I flip this over, that I'm going to find on the other side that A, this might actually be the back, not the front, and B, that there's going to be a kind of side fake closure on the skirt that is hand sewn down like that. So let's very carefully flip her over. Oh, I do want to show one other thing, which is the neckline here is so interesting to me. So it's ruched, it's all ruched up, gathered, and then it is stitched down. Now this one, I'm pretty sure this is by machine. The stitches in there. I know the focus isn't great. Oh, the inside's gonna be so exciting. Okay, let's flip her over and then take a look inside because the closure is on the other side. Wow, she is built on like a waistband. Like, it is hefty. Everything else about this dress is so light, and that waistband is just like, let me be your heavy-duty Petersham ribbon. So, this is gonna sound silly, but without getting into the insides of the bodice, I am still not sure what is the front and what is the back. That's so weird to say. Usually I feel like when you see these dog leg closures in teens era dresses, that is going on in the front, not in the back. So that's really throwing me because that's what we have here. We have a center back closure for the bodice portion with the one side hooking onto the other side. But then when it gets to the waistband, it moves over to the side. We've got about 4.5 inches of skirt waistband that continues past where the bodice meets and then comes down kind of the side right where I said it would, into that seam that's giving us that fake closure all the way down. The hooks of the opening only go down about 12-13 inches, something like that, just eyeballing it. And the rest is just sewn to look like a flap. And actually, come to notice it, it is done the same way on both sides. So both of these side seams are hand sewn with the little running stitches to create this flap effect, both on this side where it's not actually a closure, and then also on this side where we do have the closure until we get to about right here in the dress. So that is how it opens. And this side, again, whether that's the front or the back, it's basically put together the exact same way as the other side, except that we do have the opening here. We don't have the bow, and honestly, that's about it. Otherwise, like, the neckline is the same. The waistband is the same minus the bow. The lace is the same. So that's one of the reasons why I'm having a hard time figuring out what's front and what's back. So let's open her up, take a look inside, and figure out the mystery. So we have these hooks, which there were 3 hooks and 3 bars at the waistband. Down below in the skirt, by the way, there are only 3 additional hooks and bars. They're spaced about 3 inches apart, if not more. So that really just hung quite loose and floaty. And then we have our exterior hooks and bars on the bodice, which by the way are not at all evenly spaced. I just thought I should point that out for those of us who think that we always have to make our hooks and eyes exactly evenly spaced on everything. They're totally not. So keep that in mind. And then we have an interior waistband, that Petersham, I believe it's Petersham, that I mentioned, that has an additional 2. And this is, again, like, it almost feels like something surgical or military or whatever. It is such a heavy, thick waistband. It might not even be Petersham. Actually, no, I think it's not. I don't know what this is, but it is so heavy duty. So the lining appears to be a very, very lightweight, I believe, cotton, and only the bodice is lined, as well as there is a facing where the opening is. That said, half of the facing or the side of the facing for the opening on a skirt that has the bars on it, that has cotton. But the side that has the hooks on it is actually a plain silk. So it feels like another China silk, but it's just plain. It's not patterned like the rest of this gown. This waistband is mounted on after the fact, and it is only sewn on at the bottom. And it's sewn on with just like really honkin' whip stitches. It's actually attached to what I believe is the bottom of the bodice piece. So it doesn't show from the outside. It's just like the seam allowance of the bodice and or the skirt probably folded down, and then the waistband is like whipped onto that. So this is what I mean here. Whipped on like that. And again, this is just so heavy. You can hear it. It's so thick, so heavy. It almost feels, I don't even know. It really does feel like it's military or medical grade. So we're looking at the inside now. And I'm back to thinking that the side we started on was the front. It's again really hard to see. There is so little structure in here at all. It is literally one large front piece and 2 side pieces in here, and all of this lightweight cotton. The front piece though is more significantly ruched, which I feel like allows a little bit more room for the bust, whereas the back does have ruching, but it's mostly really kind of on the sides. So I think this is a back closure dress. The arm size, interestingly enough, that same plain silk that has been used in the facing is used to bind the arm size. And the sleeves are also lined in that same really light cotton that the rest of the bodice is made out of. Now that said, we see significant staining here in the underarms, and we also do have tears going all the way through even to the binding. So the underarm is just a very, very weak spot on this dress. I don't know, this lady might have just been a sweater, or maybe, something has happened since then. We also have tears in the bodice here, but to be honest, it looks deliberate, this V, because yeah, I think this is deliberate. I don't think this has come apart on the exterior. It seems like it's still where it was, and I think they were all of a sudden like, actually no, I need more lining here, and I don't have it, so I'm just gonna cut a slit and then like force my lining to go apart. And part of the reason that I say that is because it's going on both sides. So the same thing is happening over here, and this one is very clearly tightly stitched on the outside. So yeah, it may have ripped a little bit lower on the first side, but that is what's going on here too. It is that they cut the cotton, did not finish the edges to make that seam possible. Now the closure has tiny little running stitches all finishing up the lining to the exterior. They do show on the exterior on this side, but this is the bar side. Let's take a look at this side. So this side they don't. What's going on here is that, well, no, it's still a running stitch, but they just made such tiny stitches on the outside that you really can't see them. So they were just a lot more careful with the hook side. There's also a little bit of rust in here, maybe from hooks and eyes. Just a couple of rust speckles that you can see. This arm's eye is in much better shape. There's just starting to shatter through the binding over here on the arm's eye, but otherwise it is in really good shape. The underarm of the lining over here is still fully together, which actually I guess it is mostly here as well, except where the binding has gone away. So, I mean, the thing about the 19 teens is that sometimes the deceptively simple construction is actually simple construction, and that is the case here, where we've got the 3 lining pieces inside. We've got a lot more ruching and stuff that is built over on the outside, but and then our skirt panels, we have just 2 skirt panels. The one in the back that's kind of a narrow back, and then one larger in the front that wraps around. And gosh, it's a lovely, lovely piece. But yeah, actually pretty simple. I like that it shows us that dogleg closure. I really like the ruching on the bodice where it's gathered up to the neck, and I love the little pleated bits on the waist. And I didn't figure out exactly how these sleeves are done in place, but I think it's a matter of it must be tacked in there to the cotton interior, and that's how those little pleats are left in place with no visible stitches. You can see some of the running stitches from the belt on the outside, the sash on the outside, and the bow as well. But yeah, overall it's quite simple, quite lovely. It's just a really nice piece. Let's close her back up and take a few measurements. I'm not going to really do up the hooks and bars because a lot of times in these older garments, once you do that up, it's very hard to undo. So I'm gonna do maybe one at the waist, one at the neckline. Oh, actually the one at the neckline is not fully attached anymore, so I'm just gonna lay them together and see. It's quite a bit harder with the bust just because there's so much ruching and lightness to it to get a measurement, but we can definitely measure the waist. The waist is 13 and just shy of 13 and a half laid flat. So that'd be just shy of a 27-inch waist. And the bust, again, really hard to kind of lay this one flat, but it's giving me an approximately 17, which would be 34. I have a feeling it's actually larger than that because I can't undo the gathering and ruching in the front. We can kind of do an across the shoulders, but this does have a wide square neckline, so it's a little bit harder to see, but from shoulder seam to shoulder seam is 18 inches. And I do want to attempt to get a length measurement on the skirt as well, because I feel like it's not as long as I would think, but the 19 teens hemlines are raising. So length on the skirt is 40, which I guess proportionately for the size of this lady, that does make pretty good sense. Unfortunately, it's still going to be too small to put onto my small dress form, so we are going to have to make do with just laying her flat. And then the next question is, I need to figure out how to store this because it's so fine. I want to make sure that it's stored properly. I'm gonna let her air for probably a day or two first, just because she is a little musty and I want some of that mustiness to go away. So I'm gonna be very careful and just put her to the side in the sewing room because it is the least animal inhabited room in this house, and I can close off the door when I'm not in here. Just let her breathe for a couple of days and then I'll go ahead and put her into my storage box. And this is exciting though. I don't have fancy pieces like this. I've got day wear, so even though she's not in the most beautiful state, she's still one of my cooler pieces because of that, because I have so much day wear. I mean, almost everything I own I think is day wear. So, and this is at the very least, I don't know, I feel like this is evening wear probably. I mean, I suppose it's possible that it could be like light summer day wear, but it's silk, and usually they would have gone with cotton or linen in the 19 teens for day wear. So that's what makes me think that this is probably evening wear, but it's hard to say, and you know, there's no labels or anything, so we don't know. We don't know really the information about when it would have been worn or by whom, but it's still really cool. Editing Rebecca here. After watching all of the playback of this video while editing, I can say with some certainty that the opening of this dress is in fact the front of the dress, and that the bow is in the back of the dress. I'm not 100% positive, but I feel a little bit more confident now. So overall, that was a really cool piece. I'm so excited to add that to my collection. I don't really think that I have anything else that's quite as elegant. Most of my stuff is all day wear, and so having that little piece of, maybe not evening, it's hard to say really because we just don't know when it might have been worn, but with that lightness of the silk, it definitely seems more evening than day, and it's really exciting to be able to add that to my collection. Though on the flip side, I do have to figure out how to really nicely store this one, since even the lightness of the silk even seems very light compared to my acid-free tissue paper, and I don't want the tissue paper to do any harm to this garment either. So anyway, I do hope you enjoyed exploring this dress with me. It was a lovely example of the 19 teens. If you liked this video, please go ahead and click the thumbs up icon. And if you'd like to see more videos like this from me, please go ahead and click subscribe and the little bell icon to be notified every time I post a video. I do post videos here twice a week, but I post every day over on my Instagram. That's at Lady Rebecca Fashions. And if you want to help me bring lots more beautiful antique pieces to my collection, aka to you, my viewers, then I do also have links to my Ko-fi or coffee or however it's pronounced down below, where you can help support my eBay addiction and of course this channel. So once again, I really hope you enjoyed this video. This is a monthly series on my channel, and the playlist to all of the rest of the videos is linked down below, so who knows what we'll explore next month. But I will see you very soon in my next video. Happy sewing!